So who in the heck ships a piece of glass and then they put a piece of cardboard in here? I could feel a piece of cardboard outside of a box. This is asinine. All right, we'll open this up fast motion. I might end up crying in a moment. It did not break, thank Jesus. And it has a word under here. You can see the mark. The seller did not see that. Thank God, because the price would have probably been too high for me to afford. Val St. Lambert. Now, this is a rare piece of glass, art glass, French cameo glass, but it's got a problem. And so I usually do not buy antique items if it's unfixable or if it's missing a piece or it's broken. So generally, not all the time, I can restore things. You know, I can bring it back if it's missing a piece. I can create a piece by, I don't know, working on a project or get a replacement part. But it looks like a beautiful perfume bottle, right? With an atomizer. Wrong. Because take a look at this and weep, boys and girls. It's missing the pump and this glass bottle is filthy. So first, I'm going to clean it. But I'm going to try to take this off. Let's actually see if it comes off. It does, thankfully. And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. But I saw it in the picture and I was like, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. Wow, it's got a glass. Look at that. This would have, this little rod would have pulled up the perfumed oil up into this mechanism and be pumped out. But this cannot be repaired unless you are an engineer. So this now becomes a bottle with no use. All right, I'm going to clean it and I'll be right back. And we're going to try to fix this tonight. All right, so the problem with antique perfume bottles is that pretty much you're screwed when it comes to replacement parts. This one's a pretty wide bottle. Now, usually on these atomizers, especially from the teens in the 1920s, the replacement perfume bottles that I have here, I don't know if you can see these. You can get these from Amazon. I'll give you links if you're on YouTube. If this is on TikTok, they don't let me put links. So just go to my profile page and go look for my YouTube link. And you can copy and paste it if it's not a clickable link. And just paste it into your browser to go on my YouTube channel to find this video. But yeah, pretty much you're stuck in... You're stuck. You're pretty much stuck with trying to find replacements, and there's no replacements for these tops unless you part it out by another bottle that you might find on eBay or Ruby Lane or Etsy or so on and so forth. So this one is a problematic child because it has a wide neck. This is actually twice the size as a normal perfume bottle that I usually repair. So what to do now? I got these from Amazon, and they come with the pump and the hose, and you can screw some of these things off. I'll give you links to these. And they come in all different, like, glass. But I'm going to throw I know this is like a shameful thing, but I'm going to just throw the glass in the garbage because I just need the tops for these. And I get a bunch of these to replace the tops to perfume bottles that I get that are antique and vintage on eBay and other online sites. Now, the problem with this is this top is really wide. Really wide. Now, generally, I'll show you. These ones almost always fit my 1920s atomizers or Victorian atomizers. They fit in the top of the bottle, no problem. But in this case, I assumed, and it made an ass out of you and me, because it just falls right in there. And yeah, not cool. Oh my God. All right. Now this one, let's find it. I took it off of a 1920s, 1930s perfume bottle that I'm really not too keen about. You know, I'm not a big fan of that one. This one looks wider, but it's, as you can see, it's not as wide. So what do? I mean, it's going to fit. It's going to make it, but it's not going to screw in. And I don't like the color of the hose. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to show you what you can do. Now, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm trying to help everybody who buys these bottles. A lot of these bottles will come without the tops. They're missing. And basically, when you're collecting and you're on a budget, these ones will be cheaper. All right, so let's go. And we're going to go over the history of Val St. Lambert glass and other pieces you'll find. And you're going to see how expensive these bottles are and why I had to have it so bad, even with the broken missing part on the top. All right, so first things first, I want to take off this hose because it doesn't match. And we're going to pick another color. I don't know if I should go with this blue. I mean, I could interchange and switch out. I mean, is this... I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't match. So, I'm not a fan of it. By the way, these pumps, when I look for some that come in silver. I don't know. You can see the hardware on the pump is silver. And sometimes I look for ones that have gold. I don't know if you can see that. Because it depends on the color of the neck of your bottle. And so in this case, we're going to have to generally probably go with silver. Although it has a little bit of a hint of brass. All right, so the color. We got to figure out the color. And by the way, not all of these perfume bottles that you get on Amazon have this piece that twists off. As a matter of fact, I don't even think this one is going to twist off, and it doesn't. But this silver one here does twist off because I started... Oh, no, it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't twist off. Okay, this bottle, I'll get it. Amazon sold this particular bottle. I bought a couple of these with this top. Not this pointy style that you see here. This does not screw off. I needed this piece right here and the hose. And so, and pretty much they're pretty good at fitting into a lot of vintage bottles, which is, you know, pretty cool. All right, so this, we're going to 86 this. We're going to toss this. We need the silver top. Actually, oh no, it's not going to fit in here. Duh. This one we're going to work with. All right, but what color? What color? What color? All right, let's put colors next to it. Let's see, black. Does black do this justice? Black will do this justice. It'll match. The other ones have gold hardware. I mean, I could paint it silver, but I don't feel like going through that. By the way, I ordered more bottles on eBay, actually, for their tops. Some vintage 20s and 30s bottles that I got on eBay for like under 30 bucks. I bought them to try to, you know, see if one of these will be more fancy than, say, this one. And they're coming, so I might even not even stay with this one. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to screw this off. And, all right, so we're going to screw this off. And we're going to need to get this into the other one. See, this has a thing here, this little protruding, like, yeah, I was going to say the P word, but I don't think this unscrews. So you might have to get like a little needle nose plier and unscrew it. But first, let's see what we have to work with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I'm going to unscrew this and see if it already has the nipple piece in. As you can see, this one does have a nipple piece in it. Let's see if we can reuse this one. And yes, it's screwing out very easily. The other one, you'll probably have to get a pair of needle nose pliers to loosen up that little nipple piece that you see here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black one. You're not going to see this. Even though it's gold, you're not going to see it. So we're going to screw this in here. Let's go ahead and do that. And these have little silicone pieces in here, inside this part. And you can just basically push this in. And now you have the threaded end. The threaded end you're going to take, and you're going to plug it into your bottle and screw it in. Now, not all bottles have this on it. So it could be a problem. You might have to glue it in there. All right, so now if this doesn't fit, there's a little trick that we can use. And yeah, this is not fitting for some reason. All right, on to the next idea. Okay, I figured it out. I just had to really shove it in there, push it in there, and then turn. And so, you know, a little force is needed here. So I'm going to turn it righty-tighty. Remember, lefty-loosey. All right, so now we have our pump attached to this piece. I'm going to leave it with the patina. I'm not going to try to clean it. Let me just move the other stuff out of the way. I'm going to show you another tip that may help you fix your perfume bottles. Let me just get the other glass out of the way. Teflon tape. Teflon tape. So now when I go to screw this in, what's going to happen is it's not going to, you know, it's not going to stay. I mean, we're screwing it. Wait, what happened here? The little rubber gasket just broke off. I mean, it's no big deal. All right, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this is old. They dry rot. All right, let's go ahead. And you see it's not staying in there? So what I need to do is make this wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Teflon tape. And again, I'm no expert at this. It might not work. So we're going to see this in real time if it works. I take a piece of Teflon tape. And I'm going to rip it off. You don't really need a scissor with this. And you need to wrap this around clockwise, because you're going to turn the bottle clockwise. So what we're going to do is place it behind, this way, right underneath the part where you screw it in. I don't know if you can see that. And put it down. It usually sticks, which is really good. All right, and then I shouldn't have put the bulb thing on. You want to put this on tightly, and you can add as much as needed. And you're just going to go around and you're going to wrap it. You're going to completely wrap this. Just keep going around it and wrap it. And it's almost like a rubber in a way, even though it's plastic. It should grip. It should help your bottle grip better when you're trying to screw it in. So if this was too big to screw into the top of the bottle, then that would have been a really big problem, because you can't reduce it. You know what I mean? So if it's too small, you can make it bigger to possibly fit the bottle. We don't know if this is going to work yet, boys and girls. So stay with me here. And this might be a little boring for a lot of you to watch the surgery taking place, but we want to pull this as tightly as possible and get this to go around. It's a little hard to deal with because it sticks to itself as you're moving it around. So I think it's like a static electricity type of deal. All right, let's get this around. And then you're just going to go like that, and it should stick to itself. Now, this might not be enough, so we're going to just keep testing it. Nope, it's not. All right, we got to add more. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I should be doing this in fast motion for you guys because you have TikTok attention spans. So you have to turn this clockwise. As you place it on, you want to tighten it down there on the little screw head. I don't want this piece sticking up. Oh, crap. Well, I could cut it with a scissor. All right, so I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to press down on it and push it. And here we go. I shouldn't have put the damn pump on. I mean, that was really dumb. right? So I'm going to just keep going around and wrapping it in a clockwise motion. Let's try this again. Oh, it's gripping. It's starting to grip, but it's not gripping enough. So, me. All right, so I kept wrapping it and wrapping it and wrapping it in the Teflon tape over here. But look, okay, look at that. All right, so what I had to do was, here's another thing. It wouldn't screw into here. And so what I did was, I don't know where it is. There was that piece right here that was attached to the hose. So I took it off. But what happens is this is like pantyhose. It runs. So I wrapped Teflon tape around the very end of that when I pulled that little metal piece off. And then I placed it in there. And so to stop it from running, because it'll run all the way down the hose. You'll get like a pantyhose run. And that'll stop it from running. And so we got our beautiful Val St. Lambert bottle. Now, I kept the Val St. Lambert bottle very, very similar to what it would look like originally. Now, they had different tops for this. They had this type of top that had the pump coming out of the very top of it. But there was all different, for this particular bottle, I've seen different formation of tops on it. And so this is actually keeping with the date of production of this, very similar, maybe within a decade and a half or so. It's not like taking a 1980s perfume top and putting it on an antique bottle. And so this is their Iris model, a really highly collectible piece. If you look, there's acid etching. I don't know if you can see the acid etching, which is the whitish color going around it. Almost, look at that, how it all overlaps throughout the body of the bottle. It's a raised design, and over here is cameo glass. I don't know if you can see that. That protrudes out of the glass and gives it like a cameo-like appearance. I'm nervous. I just went through hell. Honestly, I was a nervous wreck about this not working out. But I'm going to show you some of the Val St. Lambert, what they go for. These bottles are not cheap. Now, they generally came with a whole entire toiletry set. So it would have a powder box. It would have this bottle. It would have other bottles with the same bottle with stoppers in it, like glass stoppers. And it would make a whole entire dresser set. Those ones are really rare when you have the whole entire set with the dresser tray sometimes. Those ones will sell for $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000. This bottle, if I was to sell it in, say, I was back on Ruby Lane selling or on Etsy, not when I sold on eBay. You can never get good prices on eBay. I would probably not sell this bottle for less than $400 to $500, even with the replaced top. It's not an issue because we kept with the age of the bottle and we made it pretty. Now, there's another piece coming that's silver and that has the silver ornamentation on it, and I got it in silver, the hose in silver. So I might go with a silver hose with this as opposed to black, so I might switch it out. But let's go over Val St. Lambert right now. Oh, so before I do that, if you're trying to fix your atomizers, here's another idea on how to fix your atomizer. So if you have a different situation from this Val St. Lambert bottle, I'll show you what to do without pliers. All right, so there you go. That's another idea. All right, let's go over the Val St. Lamberts. Really fast, I'll give you the history. Val St. Lambert is a Belgian crystal manufacturer. Now, in the beginning, I said French art glass. They're really well known for being like a competitor, like up there at the same quality with really good French art glass makers such as Baccarat, Gallet, Lalique. I'm trying to think of some others. Nancy Daum, really good glass makers. I'm trying to think of St. Louis Crystal and so on and so forth. So I consider it French art glass. So they were founded in 1826 in the ruins of a Cistercian abbey near Liège by M. Kemlin and M. Leliviere. Okay, didn't pronounce that right, probably. They became known for high-quality Victorian era-cut crystal, later developing Art Nouveau and Art Deco styles and pioneering double-colored cut glass techniques. Now, the really interesting thing was the czars, the last czars of Russia, like the Romanovs, were known to collect this glass. So at the end of the 19th century and the start of the 20th century, Val St. Lambert is at its peak. Nearly 75% of its production is exported, with main clients being Russian czars. Really quite interesting. So the Romanovs could have had Val St. Lambert glass in their collection before they were brutally murdered by the Bolsheviks. And here is some of their designs. And now Leon Ledru was known to make a lot of these pieces of circa 1900 to the 1920s. So really fast, I'm going to show you some Leon Ledru pieces with the acid etching and cameo. Really amazing designer for 38 years. Around this time, other art glass makers, especially French makers like Baccarat, look at the prices on these bottles, made a very similar acid etched and cameo design, selling for a lot of money. Look at that, $8.95 for their perfume, but very similar to Val St. Lambert. Look at that, $5,118.21 for a 3-piece set. This one, $1,850 for a very similar bottle. This one has a little screw on top and, yeah, a sprinkler top. Oh my God, it's just too expensive. I really lucked out. This one already sold. We don't know what for. Now, I wasn't kidding you when I told you these type of perfume bottles sell for a lot. 650, I think, euros or pounds, British. Yeah, I got really lucky. Now, another company, St. Louis Glass Company, again, acid etched with the cameo. Very similar to our Val St. Lambert. They were all copying off of each other at that time. Right now, we're back to Val St. Lambert. And here's a 3-piece toiletry set, $3,200. Now, I don't like these ones with the glass stoppers. I really like the atomizer styles. And again, another Leon piece, Leon LeDroux. Here's a whole toiletry set with the perfume bottles, powder boxes, and so on. And it sold for $4,066.90 for the 9-piece set. And again, they came in different colors. Here's another 2-piece perfume bottle set. It's on sale for $880. It's $1,150 normally. Oh my God. Now you know why I freaked out and I was scared when it showed up in a paper bag. And yet, here's the same bottle as mine with a crystal stopper. Again, I told you they had all different types of tops on them. 850 doll hairs. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to have an explanation for what I did here. And all right, so you already know that you can, use some of these extra pieces as burners. Some of them don't screw out. You got the links. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile page. Go to my YouTube. You'll have the links. And you'll get some of the pieces that you need, the male part right there, to screw hoses and bulbs into other bottles. These ones, the pointy ones, do not unscrew. Remember that. When I send you links, pay attention to the descriptions. Look at it. They come in different color hoses and bulbs. And you can possibly try to, at least if not get it working, you can actually try to get it displayable and ready. All right, so let's go outside. I'm going to show you what this looks like in the light. It looks beautiful in the light. All right, so here's what I did. I took the perfume bottle and the original top, and I just took a pump out, and I hot glued it on. It can be reversible. You could just pull it right off and peel the glue off. And now we got the original top, which is what I wanted. It's this lovely tassel, and look how beautiful this looks. Do you see this? Look at the beautiful glass. And now we have the pump on the top. It's non-working. It doesn't have to work for me. As long as it's displayable, I like it. All right, so that's what you can do as well. A lot of these I found on the internet, on my research, these particular bottles had the same tops, and they would have a pump standing straight up. And they have a lot of them have holes in the top. For some reason, they went missing. And why I think they went missing is because the bulbs are made out of rubber with netting or knitting going over it. And they probably dry rotted and they disintegrated. And that's why they're not there anymore. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the different ideas that you can have when trying to make these displayable, at least, if not working.